tight this is, gentlemen.
Look at this.
Look how
I had
tight
a shocker.
that is. Not the best of weeks. Not the best of weeks for you, Greg. Not the best of weeks for me. I only scored 2. How tight is that? 5 points between Greg and myself. It's still all to play for as we come into round 17, and it kicks off Warrington Wolves taking on the Leeds Rhinos at the wire. The squads have been announced for this one. And I don't know about you. I mean, in terms of Leeds, you'd expect Marler's going to be full back wings, Foster Tua and Handley, Nene McDonald, Martin in the centres, Austin Caesar, Aledzki, Walters or Holroyd as starting props. Bentley will, of course, be there with McDonald and then Cameron Smith, who is a doubt by all accounts. So don't be surprised if Cam Smith isn't in contention. Sam Lazzoni, I thought, was very good as well against Huddersfield. We didn't mention much about
and signed a new contract as well.
Indeed, he has. Javid O'Connor, of course, at hooker. You'd expect then the likes of Lazzoni, Holroyd or Walters, whoever doesn't start, is going to be on the bench. Johnson, he's confirmed that Johnson will stay on the bench. He's not going anywhere. And then perhaps, I don't know, maybe Lewis Roberts, maybe. Greg, I'm going to come to you on this one first. I would really like, I've seen a lot of the reserves in the academy this year, as you know. I would like to see Holroyd and Whitehead. Tom Whitehead in the reserves has been ripping it up. He really has. He's a natural loose forward. Obviously, no Harrison for this one. He's out. For me, you've got to have the likes of Philbin and Cassiano coming off the bench.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to start with Dudson and Vaughan. So rather than doing a patchwork quilt in the back row, I think it's time for Ben Curry to be partnered, probably with Holroyd. And I would love to see him put Tom Whitehead at loose forward, because I've seen enough of that kid to think that, like, in the same way that Conor Renge came on the scene and everybody thought, oh, he's a bit of a player, I think this Tom Whitehead has got something about him, and I'd love to see him have a shot. And
I think Fulis to fullback, and our partner Dufty and Drinkwater. In the halves.
And bang Matautia back into the centre. I agree.
Well, I'd bang Matautia back to Castleford, to be honest. But
he might put Matautia at loose forward though. He might do exactly what you've just said, but rather than put Matautia into centre, he puts him at loose forward.
Won't have Minikin anywhere near that team.
No. He'll put Matautia in the centre. He'll leave Ratchford and Renshi in the centres and put Matautia at loose.
To be honest, I'd rather start with Joe Philbin at loose, if I'm being really honest with you. But I'm just Tom Whitehead, Adam Holroyd, Lucas Green needs not to be 18th man. Lucas Green came on the other week and was awesome. In fact, put Lucas Green at loose forward.
Yeah. Oh, he's a young kid. He played well for again. He was on the score sheet in the reserve game.
And in fact, if I'm being really, really honest, I know this might be controversial, but I might suggest starting Darryl Clark
at loose
forward.
I mean, one thing's for certain. I think one thing's for certain here, and I'll get your prediction in a sec, mate. One thing's for certain, then of course come to you, Joe. One thing's for certain. I think Darryl Powell pretty much knows what team's going to be played for Leeds.
Yeah.
For once, I think Rowan Smith is probably scratching his head as to what is Powell going to do. It could be that, like you say, Dufty's playing at standoff, Fulis at fullback. Dufty could be at fullback. So who knows on that one? Matautia, where's he going to land? Will he give one of these kids a game? There's a lot of question marks over this Warrington starting 17 on Thursday, and that actually could be a benefit to Warrington because, how do you prepare to play a team where you don't know how it's going to land? If Warrington were fully fit, in the same way that Powell can guess what Leeds team he's going to start, Rowan Smith could probably guess, if Warrington were fully fit, what Warrington team was going to start. I'm a supporter of Warrington, and I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what Powell's going to do for this game on Thursday. I haven't got a clue.
I think I do.
Yeah.
I think he won't include Holroyd and Whitehead in the squad.
That'd be a shame. I think this is certainly because Holroyd's only just come back. It was his first game in reserves.
Thomas as well. There's Luke Thomas there as well. Luke Thomas played well early in the season.
He did, mate, but he's not really been playing too much for the reserves or for the first team. And, like I say, Holroyd's...
he's not a gambler, is he? He's not a gambler.
Holroyd, for me, it was his first game back in the reserves for Castleford. Of those, Luke Thomas, Holroyd, and Whitehead, I'd love him to give. I've seen enough of Whitehead in the reserves. I'd love to see how he went in the Super League. Right, mate, you're going to have to call it. I think you've already you sent me. Are you standing by what you sent in case you weren't going to be here tonight?
It hurts me to say this.
Yeah.
It hurts me to say this.
But you will.
But I think Leeds are going to win this by 18 plus. It hurts me. They're on a roll. Blake Austin, if he's fit and if he plays, will absolutely tear us a new one. We're just not firing for whatever reason, and it hurts me to say it. It really does. But I think Leeds are going to absolutely batter us 18 plus. And you know what? I will sacrifice. I would love to be bottom of that prediction round this time next week if I'm wrong. But I think Leeds are just going to be a class apart and beat us by 18 or more.
Fair play, mate.
I can see this being embarrassing, if I'm being honest.
Tell you, if you haven't got your tickets yet,
yeah, you can have mine.
I know you've done wonders for the marketing team there, my friend. Right, Joel, the fans forum have gone Leeds 1-8 on this. Gary Schofield, Warrington 18 plus. Where that's come from. Greg, Leeds 18 plus. I'm going Leeds 9-17. I think that's the first time this season I've backed against Warrington.
I think it is me as well.
But no, you've had a couple.
Have I?
You've had a couple. You've had a couple of others. I'm just saying, facts are facts, my friend. Right, Joel, as a member of the fans forum, what's your thoughts from the outside looking in on this one?
So, just quickly on the squad, if it was up to me, I'd be putting Ratchford back at fullback, his preferred position. You'd then put Matt Duffy in the halves, try it out, and then you've got an option. Then you could maybe try and have Wrench in the halves with him. I know it's not his preferred option, but you put Matauti either in the centre or back in the forwards, and then it opens you up a couple of options. I'm not saying Wrench is the answer, but certainly having Duffy in the halves, I think would be a smart move. Score-wise, I was thinking 1-8 Leeds because Powell's not going to want to relinquish that second spot. And even though I've said Leeds will win, points difference is everything when you're right up there because you can lose second position very quickly.
Well, for the eagle-eyed amongst, you'll also notice that there's no Sangari in that. He's supposedly out for a few weeks as well. He picked up a knock against you guys. So as a Warrington fan, I just genuinely hope Cam Smith isn't playing. Cam Smith has been a sensational form. I think in the same way Asiata for Leeds, he's second man on the ball. He's been in great form all year. Warrington need all the help they can get. And I think if Cam Smith isn't playing, that will be a bonus, I'd have to say. In the chat, surprisingly, it's going a bit all over the place. Ian Judson saying Warrington 9-17. Dawn Bacon, that 8 plus for Leeds. Ryan Birch, 9-17 Leeds. Kevin Ogden, Wire by 7. So again, real differences of opinion there. Some think Warrington can do it. Others think it's going to be Leeds. It's going to be a fascinating game, that live Thursday night on Sky Sports. Right, we move on to the next one. Wakefield taking on the Salford Red Devils. Wakey unable to back up last week, of course. I have to say, Tanguy Zenon really looking in a stupid of business, and he's extended his loan period by another couple of weeks, which is good news for Wakey fans. I also thought that Franco continued to impress. Obviously impressed against Leeds the week before, and again had a half-decent game. Luke Gale, of course, we didn't mention when we looked at the highlights, but Luke Gale.
Luke Gale. Was that his first appearance of the season?
First appearance, mate, and a try and assist as well for Luke Gale in this one. Obviously, Salford went into that game with Wigan on a 3-game winning streak. We know Briley's not going to be there. Ackers is not a million miles away, but it's going to be doubtful if he plays in this one. Croft, haven't heard one way or the other if he's going to come back or not for this. So their spine is decimated. So, and we know that actually, let's remind ourselves here, gents, This is a repeat game of round 5 where Wakefield lost by a solitary point, 14-13, in terms of Salford. Gary Schofield has gone Wakey 9-17. That's interesting. That's interesting. I've gone Salford 1-8. I'll be straight, open, and honest on that one. But Greg, are you staying where you were?
I am. Salford 18 plus.
As is the fans forum saying Salford 18 plus. Joel, where are you?
Is Fafita out?
Fafita, no, I don't think he's been.
No,
given
he did.
No, he hasn't been given a ban. He got a fine.
He slagged the referee off and told him it was a cheat and didn't get a ban.
Yeah,
which is incredible. But this is rugby league.
It's rugby league.
You'd expect 10 games, wouldn't you? Anyway.
Yeah. If he'd have put a Primrose and blue shirt on, he'd have been banned for the season.
Yeah. I could see a Wakefield up there.
Could you?
Yeah, Salford's defence were a bit pants, wasn't it, really? Let's be honest. Their attack looked pretty good. I know they only scored 1 try, but the attack was pretty good. It was getting back towards like how Salford like to attack. I think we were just a bit unlucky in some areas. But I'm gonna stick my neck out and say 1-8 Wakey.
Contentious, outstanding stuff. So that's where we are. So with the exception of Joel and Gary Schofield also, and Greg, remember we laughed at Schofield when he said the Wakey beat Leeds.
Yeah, we did, and that's what worries me deeply.
Yeah. And you said at the time, maybe you know some.
I'm below Gary Schofield. There's no greater dishonour in life.
And again, the forum, the comments are flying in, and again, it's a seesaw. Ian Judson saying Wakey 9-17, Kevin Ogden Salford by 18 plus, Dawn 9-17 Salford, Ryan Birch 1-8 Salford, Graham Parish going Salford, Wakey by 4 said Robert Higson. Good evening, Robert. Tom Jepson, Wakefield by 12. And Ian now has changed his mind. He's going Wakefield by 18. Good Lord.
You can't change your mind.
Put the scotch away, my friend. Deary me, but there you go. Right, okay. We go into the next one. Go on, mate.
Gailey had a really good game.
Who did?
Luke Gale.
Oh yeah,
he did. Yeah, he had a great game.
He did, mate. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, you can't argue. And I was pleased that obviously Lino is still out. Nice to see Smithy staying in there. I do think he'll probably drop Smith when Lino comes back. But anyway, right, this one. Castleford back up. Saints will be crushed. Absolutely crushed. No Sivan expected. His hamstring tightened up. If you remember in the whole game, he's expected to be out. Doubts over Morgan Knowles as well. So Roby will play. So Roby and Lusic you would expect to be back for this one. Saints are bruised. Cancas back up. No surprises here. 18 plus Schofield Saints. Greg, you went 18 plus Saints standing on?
18 plus Saints, yeah. Castleford have won the cup final. So, 18 plus the Saints.
Transform currently tracking 9-17 Saints. Where are you, Joel?
Lussig's back, isn't he?
Yeah.
He will be, yeah.
9-17 Saints.
Yeah, so you're with the fans forum on that. I'm going to go 18 plus Saints. It's a
18 plus Saints.
Right, we now come to that wonderful part of the predictions where we announce the game of the week. Here it comes, gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure. Here's the trailer. the game of the week for this round. It had to be, didn't it? The Lee Leopards against Hull KR. This is a fascinating fixture, this one. Of course, great memories for Lee Leopards fans. They, of course, their first win of the season came in round 3 at Craven Park in what was a sensational game of rugby league. And whilst the players may change, this has got everything about it going into the weekend. Real quality, I think, on show. Can't wait to watch this one on Friday evening. Obviously, Lee coming back from Catalan, they'll be, like I say, a little bit wounded by that. As for KR, 2 great wins in a row now for KR, the Challenge Cup, and of course, that win against Wakey to back that one up, but certainly the Challenge Cup victory really stood out. This is a tight one. This is a tight one. It should be an absolute spectacle, a feast for the eyes. Electrifying rugby league. That's what we're talking about right there. Right, so Gary Schofield, Lee by 18 plus. Fans Forum, Lee by 9-17. Greg, over to you.
Lee 9-17.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although it could very well be a Hull KR victory. But my gut feeling goes Lee 9-17, but I would not be surprised if Hull KR turn it on and win.
Fabulous. Joel?
I can't see anything other than a Lee win. I've got 9-17, but it could be more. They're hungry, and they know Wigan's going to win, so they're going to be chasing third as best they can.
Yeah. No, you're spot on. Well, gentlemen, one not to be missed. Thursday night, 6 o'clock, game of the week preview show. And let me tell you now, because it's already pretty much in the can, I think it's a very astute call by myself and Mr. Nixon, 9-17 lead. If you want to know why that's an astute call, uploaded 6 o'clock, Thursday night, game of the week, an in-depth look at this game, Lee against Hull KR, all the stats, all the facts. Make sure you tune in 6 o'clock on the Fans Forum page and also on our YouTube channel simultaneously. Take your pick. Remember, Fans Forum members on Facebook, join our YouTube channel as well. Tell all your friends about us. Make sure you tune in for that one. Right, the final game on Friday. Woo. Oh dear me! Comes. It's almost over, Joel. Taking on the Huddersfield Giants. And I'll tell you, I'm going to throw straight over to Joel. Everybody, me included, has to go Wigan 18 plus due to the debacle. It's at the DW. It was a debacle against Leeds. Are we wrong? What do you expect Ian Watson to do? Who do you think he might take out of the squad? Who do you think he might put in the squad? And what can he possibly do to beat Wigan at the DW? Over to you.
I've got a feeling he's probably going to take Tui out. I don't even think he'll be in the squad. Not in the 17 anyway.
Connor back.
Oh yeah, Connor's back. Oh, if Connor's not back, then man, he's really dicing with his job there. The Giants can't afford to pay the money they're paying for Connor and not play him. They can't. I do see a Wigan 30 plus win. I do. But if we're going to respond, out of any team, we have historically known how to beat Wigan, maybe more than some other big clubs. I don't see that changing, and I don't for 1 second think we're going to win for the first time in a very long time. But I think Pricey needs to stay in the squad. I think against Leeds, he was one of the best players. And when I say that, I mean he just stopped some more tries happening, basically. Luke Yates will stay in because he was tackling like crazy. Teofage.
So go on then, Joe. What's your 1-17? Let's go. Fullback. Who's fullback?
Will Price has to be. I think.
Right, wingers.
I think you're going to have Bibby on one of the wings, and I'm also going to say we're probably going to have Jermaine on the other wing.
I thought McGilvery played okay I mean, I'm not going to say anybody played well for Huddersfield, but I thought McGilvery's been in and out the squad. I thought he was all right. Bibby at centre, no, needs to go out onto the wing. So fair play. Centres, mate. Does Masters come back to Pat and Nagama?
Masters and Nagama.
Half back.
Masters has to come back. It's
crazy.
It's no brainer. He has to come back.
To be honest with you, if I had it my way, I'd put Masters in the halves because he's good at offloading. But that's not going to happen. He can't afford to. He's not. So Masters and Nagama in the centres. The halves are going to be Tio and Ollie. I don't see any change there.
Okay.
I really. Sorry, no. My apologies. No, I think Connor is going to be fullback. Sorry.
Okay.
And I think they should put Will Price at 9.
So play Pricey at hooker instead of Pete's, but Pete's on the bench.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're going to put all your flair players on, yeah?
You have to. We massively miss Danny Levi, and the only closest person to Danny Levi is Will Price. And I think he could do a really good job at 9. We're going to have probably Chris Hill and either Ollie Wilson or Jack Ashworth starting props. Get some impact in there. We're obviously going to keep Luke Yates at 13 and McQueen's probably going to be at 12. Though I would like to have seen someone like Jack Bibby be brought back. Or even we could see Leroy back at 12. Yeah.
Well, he's been playing there recently, and what you get with Leroy is you get the heart. I mean, nobody can question the passion of Leroy Cudjoe for Huddersfield. Even you can't. And you saw his body language against Leeds. You just couldn't believe what was going on.
I'd put Leroy at 12. People don't realise just how big that man is. He is a huge lad.
I saw Bibby, mate, in the reserves at Warrington, Jack Bibby, and I thought he was. I questioned his engine. I questioned his fitness because he was blowing against the reserves after 20 minutes. So I don't know that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I question his tank at the minute.
He's not been given game time, so he won't be able to have the tank in there. I think he needs to be seriously contended for the next few weeks.
Someone in the chat here saying Sam Holsall, mate.
Sam Holsall, I'd put him on the wing. I just don't think he's gonna. I just don't see him chancing it this week. But for me,
so Joe, where's Lola Hayer? Is he injured or is he?
No, he's not playing. No, he's not playing.
He's not playing.
No, I'd have Halsall potentially instead of Bibby on the wing, but I'm only saying Bibby just because he's just a bit more solid and he's obviously a lot more experienced. But for me, Halsall is my actually first choice winger. Anyway,
right, okay.
For me, Joel, you have to find a place for Connor.
Yeah. It has to be fullback because that's where he was always going to.
Wherever you have to find a place for him, because he can make things happen.
Yeah,
he's a magician. He's a magician.
On the bench, we need people like Seb. One of them, either Matty or Ollie. We just need some big lads in there, really.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first, folks. I think the big one there, I can't disagree with him either. Lola Hayer, it would not be in Joel's starting lineup. In terms of what the chat has said on this one, nobody really. Oh, actually, Tom Jepson is being optimistic. He's going Giants by 8. Kobe McGilvey, no surprise, Giants by 8. But with the exception of those two, everybody, Dawn, Graham, they're all going the way of Wigan by a decent score. And I'm sorry, but after that performance against Leeds, they probably deserve those type of predictions, to be fair. And then the curtain comes down on round 17.
You've not had my prediction yet, mate.
Sorry, mate, you've already given me. My apologies. Go on, confirm it.
Huddersfield. No, Wigan
18.
Wigan by 18 plus. I'm sorry, Joel. I just can't see you winning it, mate.
I'm with you on that.
Unless they pull a rabbit out of the hat, and nobody will be happier than me. I think Wigan are going to. I think it's going to be 18 plus. And I think Watson's going to be looking over his shoulder.
Yeah. Well, Toby McGilvey, Joel, is saying that he put Tui at hooker.
Oh, no chance. No,
No, you're not having that?
no, not at all. He's just not quick enough. I would praise him like crazy last year. He's just not quick enough.
No, he's put too much timber on, mate. He's
Yeah.
lost the yard, hasn't he? Right, gentlemen, time's ticking on. Time is ticking on. Hull FC, I mean, this is a belter as well. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't really be bigging this one up. But actually, the way Hull have played the last few weeks and the form of their players, this is, and let's be fair, I mean, both of these two teams had a tough game this week, Saints and Lee respectively. This actually has got the makings of a fine game. It really, really has.
Why is it not on TV?
Exactly. It would be great, wouldn't it, to have this one?
Yeah.
I found it quite interesting that Sky do a deal with Catalan to get Leeds on the telly. I found that quite amusing.
Well,
did you see?
If you're a Leeds fan, you don't need to buy a season ticket. Just sit at home and watch.
Yeah, I'm getting sick to back teeth now just seeing Leeds every single week.
You know what? We're all sick to the back teeth of seeing Leeds on TV.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know what's in Sky's head. Why do you think that rugby league fans need to see Leeds every single week? We don't. No disrespect to Leeds fans and no disrespect to Leeds.
No.
But we don't need to see them every week, boys. No. Let's give somebody else a chance.
I know why they're on there, and I've said that to you before, but it don't make it right, does it?
It doesn't make it right.
No.
Right, Schofield's going Hull 18 plus. That's a hell of a vote of confidence from Schofield.
Oh dear, blooming heck.
The fans forum are going Hull 9-17, which is interesting. I'm going Catalan 1-8. I see this close. Where are you going, Greg?
9-17 Catalan.
You're going the way of Cats. And Joe?
I'm going FC 1-8 because I think the Dragons had a bit of the stuffing kicked out of them by Lee. I think they were really tired and they're going to come to Hull with a lot of energy.
Ian Judson makes a really good point. This is actually on the ARSCI, the Our League app, for those who want to pay a $5 and watch it. Albeit, I think the last couple of times the Our League app have streamed Super League games, there's been a problem with the connection, but that's another story. It is there. Yeah. It is there should you need it. Andy and Sue are in the house. Andy and Sue, congratulations on your win against Warrington. Well done, guys. You must have enjoyed that one. And yes, a lot again. Hull FC here. Kobe McGilvey, Hull FC by 16. He's going Tom Jepson, Catalan by 16, Hull by 7, Hull by 18 plus, Hull by 9-17. So many going the way of Hull here, which is quite surprising considering the league table. The vast majority and the fans forum on Facebook have all gone Hull. Most of the fans forum that are watching the show live have contributed to the chat are going Hull. It should be a fascinating game.